Why do teenagers leave the faith? The reasons generally fall into three categories: doubt, mistreatment, and sin. So first, doubt. Everyone has doubts. When young people grow up, they naturally have questions about their faith that they once blindly accepted. So when well-meaning parents and pastors tell them, just have more faith, or we don't ask those kinds of questions here, it leads them to believe that Christianity can't answer many of their questions. And so they look to other worldviews and belief systems for their answers. This is so unfortunate because Christianity is credible. God can answer these questions, and actually, Christianity is the best explanation for reality there is. So it becomes a matter of looking at the evidence that is already available to supplement their faith. God is not afraid of their questions, and He has given all of us the evidence and knowledge we need to overcome our doubts. A second reason many people leave the faith is mistreatment. Whether it's abuse or legalism or hypocrisy, many teenagers become disillusioned with the faith. Especially these days, it seems like the stories of pastor scandals just don't end. If someone faces abuse in the church, grows up in a very legalistic home, or sees hypocrisy, it's very tragic. But what's even more tragic is to leave the God they love because of someone who misrepresents Him. In fact, the outrage someone feels because of mistreatment is given to them by God. Just look at the Gospels. Jesus had a righteous anger over the hypocritical religious leaders who would lead people astray. If you're angered by hypocrisy, know that God is even more outraged, as the core issue here is people misrepresenting His good nature. A third common reason teens leave the faith is sin. Some teens have such a battle with sin that they come to a place where they find it's easier to change their beliefs rather than change their actions. They start to think maybe God just doesn't exist. Or they redefine Christianity in a way that approves of their lifestyles. For example, some teenagers who are dealing with homosexuality long enough come to a place where they find it's easier to simply say that God doesn't exist. Or they still love God, but tragically, the church has treated them with such scorn and contempt and even hatred, it sends them running to a church that affirms of a homosexual lifestyle. This is why it's so crucial for the church to handle each and every sin with truth and with grace. Instead of compromising on the truth, we should be honest about what the Bible calls sin, while at the same time lovingly and graciously helping our brothers and sisters through sin. Whether it's doubt, mistreatment, or sin, young believers need faithful, godly leaders who can truly represent the character of Christ. And if you are a young believer, know that the church, of course, is imperfect, but faithful, godly leaders do exist, and it's God's desire for them to lead you in truth and in grace.